This morning on Sunrise, a teenager in North Portland shot while walking his dogs. What we know about the woman arrested for that shooting.
Plus, changes in the Middle East, what world leaders are saying as they debate what's next for Syria.
Also this morning, we're hearing from crabbers along the Oregon coast about the excitement and the nervousness that comes with the opening of this year's commercial crab season next week. The 6 o'clock hour of KGW News at Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Grams in today for China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Yes, China is off, but not Rodney. Rodney Hill is in the Weather Center. Rod, do that thing you do where you tell us about the weather before it actually happens.
Are you ready?
You mean doing his job?
Actually, right now, I'm stuck with telling you exactly what's going on at this moment because it is really foggy. We don't see this that often. Everybody is basically shaded in, with the exception of the east side, where east winds are starting to come out of the gorge somewhat. But look at the fog nonstop through Salem, nonstop to Eugene. We obviously have a fog advisory up for this morning. And there are spots where it's freezing, so freezing fog, potential slick spots also a concern this morning. This is on the Capitol Mall. You can see a little bit of a building right there, 36 degrees. Here's downtown Portland. You can just barely see some buildings. 37 is the number. But again, a lot of you are 30, 32, so watch out for potential slick spots. And because of the fog and the freezing numbers, KGW Weather Impact Alert out the door. We think the fog really will slow you down and the slick spots you need to be aware of. 46 at noon. As we clear out, I have today's high up to 48. Here's Chris.
Rod, we pick it up with a traffic alert on I-5 southbound. Several hours later now, the right lane of I-5 South is still blocked at Capitol Highway, and you can see southbound I-5 traffic now is backed up into the Twilliger curves. This because of an earlier truck fire. Photojournalist Eric Patterson on the scene here with a different vantage point. You can see the cab here that looks like that's nearly completely burned out, and the trailer, the contents of which, not sure what it was carrying, but those were on fire earlier this morning. This is what it looked like when Eric passed by this scene about an hour ago, and you can see that they were still working to gather up those packages and whatnot. Not sure if there's any damage to the road, no understanding of any injuries at this point, but the traffic impact obviously is significant because I-5 South is now backed up a solid mile here, and it's not moving very quickly at about 12 miles an hour. So plan some extra time to get around that, or Drew and Ashley, you could maybe hop on I-5 from 99W. That'll get you around this backup. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you so much, Chris. Well, new this morning, one person is in the hospital after a shooting in Gresham. Gresham police say it happened near Southwest 14th and Pleasant View Drive just before 3 this morning and haven't released any additional information. If you saw anything, you're asked to contact Gresham police.
The woman accused of shooting a teenager in North Portland last Friday faces several charges, including attempted murder. KGW's Alma McCarty has more on what happened as the suspect waits for her arraignment next week.
Friday night, Portland police took 37-year-old Natasha Mollet into custody, booking her early Saturday morning on attempted murder and assault charges. Neighbors watching from inside their homes told KGW on Monday they were surprised to learn about the details spelled out in court documents. Investigators say just after 6:30 on December 6th, Mollet allegedly followed the 17-year-old victim while he was walking his two dogs. He told detectives he thought she was asking about the dogs, but because she was being confrontational, he ignored her and kept walking. Documents describe how Mollet kept calling out to the teen to turn around before she allegedly shot at him 3 to 4 times, the bullets striking him twice in the shin. According to court documents, video shows Mollet running back to her apartment after the shooting, while the victim called for help. After initially refusing to leave, Mollet turned herself into police after 11 p.m. Officers later seized this handgun, believed to be used in the shooting, from her apartment. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
All right, let's get to this morning's top national story now. Police in Pennsylvania arrested the man accused of shooting and killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
And Thomas Schultz joins us in the studio now. Thomas, what more do we know about the man who was arrested?
Well, Drew and Ashley, the suspect Luigi Mangione was spotted in a Pennsylvania McDonald's by a restaurant employee who alerted authorities to a customer with a gun, mask, and writings linking him to the ambush. When officers approached Mangione, he was sitting at a table at the rear of McDonald's wearing a blue blue medical mask and looking at a laptop. An officer asked the suspect if he had been to New York recently, and Mangione reportedly became quiet and started to shake. Soon after, authorities arrested Mangione. They also found a gun silencer and a fake ID.
This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning.
In a statement, Mangione's family says they're shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest, saying, quote, "We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news." Investigators say they also found a handwritten document on Mangione that speaks to his motivation. A source told the Associated Press it included an apology for the trauma, but said, quote, "These parasites had it coming." Another line says Mangione acted alone. Ashley.
Thank you, Thomas. And a man accused of killing his estranged wife was back in Clackamas County Court yesterday afternoon for his indictment. Michael Fournier is charged with murder. Police say he killed 61-year-old Susan Lane Fournier, who also goes by the name Phoenix. She had been missing for a week. Friends near Welch's spent days canvassing the area looking for her and her 2 dogs. Her body was found on Friday, November 29th. A month prior, Lane Fournier had filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences.
Detectives in Clark County are using new technology to solve a series of cold cases thought to be tied to a single killer.
Detectives believe Warren Forrest is connected to the disappearance, kidnapping, or murder of 8 women between 1971 and 1974. He's been convicted in 2 of those cases. Inside Forrest's van, detectives recovered nearly 70 pieces of hair they believe may be tied to several missing persons or unsolved murder cases. That includes 20-year-old Carol Valenzuela, whose body was found near one of Forrest's victims.
Potentially those hair samples could be just people that had a legitimate reason to be with Warren Forrest. They could be completely unrelated, or they could be additional victims that we have not connected to his case yet.
Detectives are using genetic genealogy to try to identify who the hair belonged to. Now, if you have any information, you're asked to call this number on your screen. That's the Clark County Sheriff's Cold Case Tip Line. That number 360-397-2036.
Portland's Blanchet House says it's opening a new overnight shelter specifically for women next spring. The shelter will be located downtown at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church on Southwest 13th with enough space to house 75 women every night of the year. It will also have an all-female staff. The nonprofit estimates it will take $1 million to staff and run the shelter in the first year. Here's more from the executive director of Blanchet House.
We're hoping this can be part of the optimism. Getting women off the street each night where they can be safe and stabilize and be in a better position to work with other agencies during the day, I think it's going to be a big deal. It will move us closer towards solutions in our community.
Again, that's the executive director of Blanchet House, who also told us Portland hasn't had an overnight shelter just for women since 2019.
And the Oregon Zoo is now a little bit fuzzier. The zoo took in 2 orphaned cougar cubs. You can see them there. They were found wandering in Southwest Washington. There's 1 boy and 1 girl. They're about 4 months old. Both cubs are about 20 pounds and will eventually move into the cougar habitat in the zoo's Great Northwest area. Though for right now, they're getting settled in behind the scenes. Rod, I think you said this earlier. They're cute now, but they're going to end up pretty big.
Little kitty, big kitty. Big, little kitty, big kitty. Here's a look at our dense fog advisory map, shaded in gray. And note that this is up and down all of I-5 from Cowlitz County all the way down into Eugene. And for the most part, everybody in this fog advisory is, in fact, reporting consistent fog. Now, at street level downtown from the Pioneer Park building, looking at our Christmas tree, that doesn't look bad, but there's a lot of fog coming into downtown Portland in general. 37 is the current number out at the airport. We have freezing spots, and again, on these foggy mornings, we really push the freezing spots because fog can, when it freezes, produce slick spots around. So it's pretty much all freezing from Sherwood, Tigard, out through Forest Grove and up into Scappoose. Battlegrounds of 31. Oregon City's freezing. Starting to see some east wind bounce out of the gorge because temperatures are going up. Gresham 39, Troutdale 36, Happy Valley's at 36. Kaiser's been freezing right now, 33, and our capital, McNary Field in Salem, is at 36. Luke is our KGW dog of the day. Hello. Use that hashtag post on your social media channels. We'll find your photo, and your dog will become our dog of the day. All right, here's the dry forecast map this afternoon. We're back into a temperature inversion pattern, and the low clouds are there. From the Columbia Basin, Pendleton, the Dalles Hood River, likely cloudy all day. The coast, man, your property values must be soaring. Another day with sunshine and temperatures around 50 degrees. Holy cow. We have sunshine out east, but cool. John Day gets up to about 40. Albany and Eugene may stay underneath the clouds all day, and Salem could struggle to clear. Portland will clear out. We'll get up to 48. Another dry day tomorrow. East winds are coming for parts of the area today. And then the rain returns Wednesday over, and the Thursday, then it's rain times through your weekend, and that is your forecast.